With us right now, James Hawley. James, you are the CEO of NextPath, found on the web at nextpathcp.com. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. Hey, Josh. Pleasure to be here.
So at a high level, NextPath is obviously you do a lot of IT staffing, but I'll let you explain what NextPath does.
Yeah, we're about a 2-year-old business. We're actually based in Florida, Tampa, Orlando, and our focus is recruitment and staffing. And most of that is in the technology space. We help a lot of small and mid-sized businesses, in particular startups, tech startups. So like SaaS businesses, like software as a service. That's our mainstay, our wheelhouse, if you will.
Yeah, excellent. So congratulations on your success in just 2 years. What's the origin story?
Yeah, so my partner and I, we started our previous business in recruitment and staffing back in 2001, and we grew that from a bootstrap business to $100 million annual revenue. Yeah, so we were able to build that up, and then we sold it in 2014 to a pretty big international firm. We stayed on board, helped with the transition, and then we just got the itch, wanted to do it all over again. So we started NextPath, bootstrap from scratch 2 years ago.
Wow.
Went from 0 to, I think this year we're on pace, we'll do a little over 5 million in revenue.
Yeah.
Went from 5 employees and now we've got almost 30 employees. So survived COVID, and we actually didn't lay a single person off last year. We kept our team. It was important to us, and it paid off. We started hitting records around August last year, and it's been a breakneck pace ever since. So 2021 has been a really fast start for us.
Yeah, no kidding. So what is it like being during COVID? What was recruiting and staffing like?
I mean, like everything, the world stopped last March. The world stopped turning, and we were trying to figure out what exactly hiring. Like no one's hiring right now, right? Everyone's just trying to figure out if they have jobs. So ultimately, first couple of months were really rough. But what we did was we told our team from the get-go, since we had been through 2 recessions previously with our last business, we told our team, your job is safe. And I thought that was a really important thing, that we had their back. They weren't worried. And so then they really focused on getting out there, and they were able to find jobs and opportunities and place people even when there wasn't an abundance of it. And I think that paid off. We were able to kind of, slingshot out of that downturn really again by August, the end of the summer. And then it was just full steam ahead. So yeah, it was a scary time for all businesses, but yeah. I'm very lucky that we've got a great team and they stepped up in a big way.
Yeah. So what does NextPath do that maybe differentiates you from other staffing and or recruitment companies?
Yeah, I think number one, our founders have done this before. Combined, we have 80 years of experience doing recruitment and staffing. So I think our expertise is one. Number two is that we're a very honest company. And what I mean by that is that, we're ultimately in this for the long haul, and we want to not just make a buck, but we want to do the right thing. And so a lot of times we do business that doesn't make us a dime today, but it'll pay off long term, and it builds our brand and reputation. I think that's unique. The recruitment and staffing space, there's a lot of big companies that ultimately are, they're trying to scale, they're trying to grow, and it's all about spreadsheets and calculation of like, how do we grow the business? And it isn't always at the best intention of the candidate or the client in the transaction. And so we try and make sure that we're doing things, in a much more impactful, positive way. And we don't focus on dollars. That's the one thing about our business. I have no target that we need to hit X this year, because once you do that, you ultimately tell the team at all cost, figure out a way to make that happen. And that's not always a good thing for clients and candidates and for our customers. And so we focus on doing the right thing, which in turn, builds the revenue, builds, the money coming in the door. So I think we're unique because we just have a different philosophy as a company than most businesses in our space.
What does so NextPath in partnering with a company, what are you able to do that, let's say, in HR internal recruiting can't really do as well for themselves?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And we ultimately tell businesses that can fill roles that they should. We're a premium service. If you can do it without having to spend tens of thousands of dollars, then why not? So we actually consult clients to not give us roles and not pay us fees because it's not in their best interest. But at the end of the day, HR, internal recruitment, they're stretched. They have a lot on their plate. And recruitment, to find the right person, is a full-time job. It takes dedication. It takes building a network and a pipeline. And so for us, this is all we do all day long. And a lot of times candidates will come to us looking for opportunities as a career agent where they might not go directly to a company, right? So they come to us and they confide in us. We're part therapist some days, part priest. They tell us a lot of things about their career, good and bad. And so then we're able to actually match them to the right roles. So we'll get candidates coming to us that won't directly go to a lot of businesses. And so I think that's a differentiation as well. But yeah, we partner with HR and recruitment. It's about the right tool for the right job. And I think ultimately for the right role that they can't fill, we're the right solution.
And then in terms of when someone wants to work with you, what are they having some pain points right now? Let me ask it this way. So let's say, we're a SaaS company. We're going through some growth. Business is good. How do I know I need to bring you in? Like, what kind of pain points might I be experiencing?
Yeah, I think it's, if that role is either costing you money because you're losing revenue with it not being filled and it's taking too long, or having the wrong person in that job is ultimately costing you money, then it's something to look outside, right? So what I would say is business owners have to look at what they do best. And a lot of times, they're experts in their space. So let's say you're a SaaS company, you're expert at building software, right? That helps optimize businesses at scale. Well, recruitment is a whole nother ballgame. And so I think as business owners, you've got to figure out what you're good at and then outsource to experts what you're not. And I think that, builds puts the puzzle into place to where you get the right pieces that fit versus trying to steal your team away from doing what their core focus should be. And then it becomes a distraction, which might save you a couple bucks in the short run, but in the long run, it's actually going to cost the business because you're not getting the right people. And you're also, pulling your core team away from what they should be focused on, which is delivering for your customers.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And then why IT in particular? Of any industry, why is it really helpful to work with a staffing agency? Is it a supply and demand issue? Is it just that great talent is a little bit trickier to find?
Yeah, I would say IT. There's a couple reasons. One is demand. I mean, think about anything that you touch in your life throughout the day and tell me something that technology is not a part of, right? Even if it's just technology of how that product, right, in quarantine or, work from home, how that product got even from a warehouse to you involves technology and logistics to deliver that box, right? That Amazon package, whatever it is. So at the end of the day, technology is in everything that we do. So it is a numbers game because of that. The other part is technology changes so rapidly that a lot of businesses, it's not like accounting, right? Accounting is accounting is accounting. At the end of the day, your balance sheet is your balance sheet. It doesn't change from year to year. But if you're a programmer in technology, you might be working, one day with Angular, and then 6 months later you're rolling out React, right? So two different tools within that landscape. So technology is changing way rapidly, which means you need people in order to stay up with it, which means hiring those technologists. And so that's why the demand is so high in that space.
Yeah. All right. So this is going to be fairly self-serving, but tell me, you and I are both based in Orlando, Central Florida. Why is Central Florida a great place to operate your business? Because you could have, of course, you massive exit and you're going to start anew. You decided to, to do that locally.
Yeah. And we had 13 offices in our last business.
Wow.
So got a chance to travel, and then being part of an international firm, even traveled to 3 different countries with that job. And so, yeah, I kept coming back to Orlando. The easy answer is family. My wife's got a lot of family here. So of course you're going to be near them for cousins and stuff for my kids. But as a city, I grew up in Orlando. I'm homegrown, and it's changed a lot, but I think it's one of the most friendly cities. Like, my kids love being 15 minutes from Mickey or Universal or whatever. Like, it's just a really cool thing to have in your backyard, where people spend tens of thousands to go vacation, right? Like, you literally can get a pass and go in any day of the week. So I think that, along with just the business in general, Orlando, I think because it's newer, we've got a thriving simulation industry, which is one of the best in the world. Our technology space is growing. We obviously have hospitality, so like timeshare, there's a lot of businesses that support the travel industry, reservation systems. We are really the capital of everything hospitality, I feel like. So you've got Darden headquartered here, Red Lobster, like you name it. I feel like this is the epicenter when it comes to anything in that travel and hospitality space. So it's not just about, Disney, right? That used to be, I think, what Orlando was, but now it's like one of the best places for cost of living, right? Your dollar can go further here. Right. I think through COVID, we had a lot of people moving here. I think the stat was 1,000 people a week to Orlando. And I think because we were open for business a little bit more than the rest of the country. So I think overall, it's just a good climate for business. And I think for a lifestyle that's just kept me coming back. I travel, but this is home. And I'm sure you feel the same way.
I'm with you too. So we moved about 14 years ago. The kids were much younger at the time, but it's just been a great place, for kids, and, just lots of great activity, great transportation, et cetera. So
absolutely.
Yeah, excellent. So where now is NextPath going to be the next 9-figure company?
From my standpoint, we had an exit. It was fantastic, right? It's great. Lots of good, positive things, but one of the things that started the idea of NextPath is, my partners and I, in particular, Dan Rodriguez, my partner at Veritas, which was our previous firm. He really was the one catalyst who brought me on, and the rest of the partners. Our next path with this business is ultimately about not being so big, right? We've scaled a business. Our greatest enjoyment was when we were in that sweet spot, when we were in high growth mode, but we still knew every employee. I was still interviewing every single person, and I got a chance to know them and their families. So for our standpoint, we don't want to be the biggest. We want to be the best is our tagline. So what size is that? I think ultimately we're going to grow and we could be pretty significant, but my goal is not to be as big as we were before. I think ultimately, I want to kind of live in that, growth mode that still keeps us very connected to each one of our employees. That's super important to me.
Yeah. I'm curious, how do you recruit for talent?
Yeah, it's not easy. Certainly even being in the business is not easy. I think it's about networking, right? So referrals is huge, asking good people who they know. Also, our brand, we work really hard. Our team does a great job of just kind of taking what we have inside culture-wise and actually sharing it with the world, social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever. So I think that brand has attracted good people to us. And then ultimately it's timing, right? People change jobs. the best person may not be available when their perfect job opens up. So for me, it's all about opportunistic, right? So even if I don't have a job open, if somebody comes around that's good, we'll find a home and a spot for them, because that window may not open again to get that level of talent, that person. So that would be something I would pass on to other companies as a way to attract talent, is always be looking for talent. It's not just when you have jobs open. It's about being opportunistic. So yeah, referrals, always looking. And then our brand, I think our exposure brings us a lot of great talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. James, this is great. Again, your website is nextpathcp.com. So who's a great, and I think we may mention this a little bit, but, are you looking more for talent? Are you looking more for, the companies that need the talent? I know that sometimes there's a little bit of a chicken and egg type thing. Yeah. What's in more demand for you?
Yeah. I mean, we're always looking for clients to support, but I would definitely say the candidate side, the talent side, is really tight right now. So we do a lot of recruiting. So we're always looking for good people, people that are in sales, people that are in technology and programming, people that are in digital marketing, customer success. We do accounting and finance. So we tend to work with, let's say, a startup, and then we'll actually work on a variety of roles for them that help them grow and build. So we don't only just do technology, but I mean, from my standpoint, I would say, talent is certainly what we need the most of right now. But again, we're growing and hiring at a pretty good clip. That I say that, and then next week I'm going to say, oh, no, Josh, I actually meant clients. Like, we need more clients. So it'll end up ebbing and flowing is the way that our business works.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Okay. So nextpathcp.com, someone goes to your website, what should they do?
If you're a company and you need to hire people, then reach out, fill out a quick form, tell us what you're looking for, and we'll respond within a few hours to you. If it's a candidate looking for a job, we have over 200 jobs listed on our website.
Yeah, you do.
Check it out, take a peek, see what fits. It's all categorized, so you find what your skill is, and then we'll show you what we have. We have a lot of remote jobs, work from home jobs. It's not just local. And we have jobs from California to New York down to Florida. So over 200 right now. So check it out and send your resume into us, and we'll be happy to help you.
Fantastic. Awesome. All right, James Hawley, again, the CEO of NextPath, found on the web at nextpathcp.com. James, thanks so much for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Josh, for having me.